The most important thing you can ever do in your life, ever, is to fail. Matter of fact, a lot of people should be striving to fail in their lives. You should be striving for failure. And before everyone starts to say, yo, Drew, what are you talking about? We're supposed to be, aren't we supposed to be successful? Shouldn't we be chasing success? Isn't that one of the main things that, we want to try to find fulfillment? Yes and no. Here's the thing. If you're too focused, let me tell you this: success realistically does not teach you anything. The biggest lessons that have ever been learned were learned from failures. Let me explain. If you have an example of someone who just got the lottery, they just won the lottery, right? Let's say they won $1 million. A lot of times, people who just came into that sudden success without understanding the struggles, without understanding the trials, without understanding what it takes, the meaning behind what it takes to be successful. Well, guess what? That just gets squandered. The gifts get squandered. Before you know it, you find out 4 or 5, 6 months or a year later, they're broke. They lost all their money. Some of them, they even say, you know what? I wish I never had that money in the first place. I wish I never won that money. I wish that I have never came into that money, because it's been nothing but pain and suffering, right? Now, to you might think these guys failed, but realistically, that was a lesson learned in itself. You learn that, okay, me coming into a lot of money, well, it changes your mindset a little bit, especially without working for it. Me coming into a lot of money, first of all, you got other people who start to come out of the woodworks, right? And you start to see the true motivations. You start to see things that you wish you hadn't seen, or things that weren't clear to you before the money. So a lot of times, people who come into that level of success and don't really understand how they got there will always lead to, it would never last. It would always lead to some form of failure, which is good. Now, here's the reason why you should be striving for failure, and every one of us should be striving to fail, because the best lessons in life you will ever learn is learned from your mistakes. It's learned from your failures, because now you know what not to do. Now you have a reference point. Now you have a pathway. See, the thing with the big concession with society nowadays is, and I don't like to say society without describing it. I'm talking about the media. I'm talking about governments. I'm talking about corporations and other institutions. The thing with society nowadays, when you see people, you see the idea of success. For a lot of people, they think it's all about winning. It's all about getting to the spot, being successful, and winning. When you see a lot of successful people, what a lot of you guys don't see, and what will, at least majority of you guys, what you see is the end product. You see the end product of where they are. You see that guy living in that nice house. You see the dude driving a nice car. You see all that. You see the end result. For a lot of us, though, what we don't see was the pain, the failures, the tears, the blood, the sweat that went into it before he got that house, before he got that car, before he got that lifestyle that he got. You don't see that. You see the end result. And a lot of you go chasing that end result. You go chasing that success without understanding that there are failures behind it. You have to learn the lessons first. You have to learn the rules. You have to learn what not to do, the pitfalls. Now, I'm not saying that a lot of you guys have to go through it yourselves. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. You can learn from other people's failures. Other people have failed way worse than you'll have. And probably way more than you ever will. But it's about learning where they came from. It's about learning how they picked themselves up, how they started back over. Now, here's the thing. For a lot of us, once we hit that first roadblock, we break apart. Some of us, we fall apart. Some of us, even the fear of failing, the stigma that comes behind it, the humiliation, the walking back with our tails tucked between our legs because we didn't accomplish what we're supposed to accomplish. For a lot of us, that's enough to not get started. That's enough to just not even pursue what we want to pursue because of that fear. What we don't understand is this is necessary. It's actually something you want to chase. It's something that you want to pursue. You want to pursue failure, because then once you've pursued it, you understand the pitfalls. You understand where not to go. You have a reference point. You are carving out that path. You know what it takes now. You're building. See, true failing isn't hitting a setback. And let me clarify this. True failing isn't hitting a setback and all of a sudden having to start over and move on. It's not that. True failing is hitting that setback and just quitting. That's when you've lost it all. That's when you're gonna stagnate and you just left it. It's when you've hit a roadblock, or you've hit a point in your life where it's been low and you didn't pick yourself back up. You didn't see. It's not how you fall. It's never how you fall. It's always how, if you're going to get back up again. And for those of us who decide to get back up again, well, guess what? You just carved a new path. Now you know what not to do versus those who don't. I mean, in my entire lifetime, I've started 6 different companies, 6 different projects, right? 5 of them didn't work out. Matter of fact, 4 of them didn't work out. 1 of them sold. 1 of them went on to be what it is. And it's one of those things where I could have stopped. Matter of fact, when I launched my first project, I had a lot of people telling me, Drew, okay, good luck, hope this works out, maybe you'll figure it out. And it was one of those things where it's like, you hit that roadblock, and that pain, yeah, it freaking sucks. It cuts deep, because you're out there trying to prove those people wrong. At least I was. You tell me I can't do it, you watch. And guess what? I failed. And that's the hardest thing. For a lot of us, we don't want to talk about it, but it's true. Picking yourself back up after you failed, trying something new, seeing those different avenues. What, you think I was insane failing that first business and then starting another one and failing that one and starting another one and failing that one? You think I was insane? A lot of people, they think, the definition of insanity is doing the exact same thing over and over and over again, thinking you have a different result. That is not the definition of insanity. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and quitting because it doesn't work. That's the definition of insanity. When you are onto something, when you are consistent, when you are determined, no matter what, it's only a matter of time. But you gotta be consistent. It's only a matter of time. Your time will come. But if you stop, it never does. Patience, consistency, determination all these things are gonna guarantee you that you're gonna be successful. And once you reach that level of success, you understand how to deal with it. Because success comes with its own level of problems. It comes with its own level of frustrations and confusions for a lot of people. And you can go out there, you can see a lot of famous people out there. You can see a lot of people who are even wealthy or who had wealth at one point and who had success, and they lost it all like that because they didn't know how to handle it. Some of you guys probably know someone in your life right now who's been in that situation, who's had success, and they didn't know how to handle it appropriately because either they didn't learn from other people's mistakes or they didn't pay attention to how and why they got to where they got. See, success for a lot of people, just because you're successful doesn't mean you're smart, doesn't mean that you're skillful. What it really takes is just you being prepared for that time and luck. That's literally it. For instance, you could be trying the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. I mean, if it's the wrong timing, if it's the deployed at the wrong time, the wrong product, whatever it is, you will not make it. It's a little bit of luck. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. I've seen a lot of people who've been successful, and once they get to that spot, they think it's all because of them and their infinite glory and their infinite genius. I was one of that person. I had a little bit of success in my life. And at that point, I thought it was all me. And guess what? The next day, it went like that. It all came crashing down because I got too much in here. I thought I was a shit. I thought I knew everything I was doing. I didn't realize that, hey, sometimes you get lucky. And that's the thing, the core thing you have to understand. It's okay to fail. It's okay to understand that, you know what? I'm going to keep trying at this, but it's not necessary. I'm not expecting it to work out for me in the first time going. I'm not expecting it to instantly take off. I'm not expecting it, let's say I start a YouTube channel. Let's say I start, a business. I'm not expecting it to take off right away. I have to expect that there's going to be a lot of work associated with this. And that's the thing that we all have to understand, that we want to chase failure. We want to fail because it opens up that avenue. It helps us understand not only where we've been, but how to handle where we're going. And that's really all it is. So don't be afraid to try something, or don't be afraid to keep trying. It's never over when you fail. As long as you decide to pick yourself back up, it's not over. When you truly fail is the moment you stop. It's the moment you fall to pieces and you decide not to pick yourself up again. That's when failure truly sets in. But as long as you keep trying, as long as you keep pushing, even through this tough time that we're in right now, a lot of people are about to go through some massive L's right now. A lot of businesses are going to take some massive L's. A lot of people, they're going to fall apart. This time is going to determine who you really are. Are you really a failure, or you're someone who's determined to make it? And that's where the time we're heading into. So basically, that's pretty much it. You have to understand that failing is not a bad thing. When people look at other people who are successful, you're only seeing the end result. And that's what success is. It's all the end result. You're never going to see the pain, or you don't see the pain, the sweat, the blood that goes with that success that you have. So if you're going through times right now where things aren't going well for you, it's not the greatest time right now, just know that all you have to do is keep trying. Your time is coming. It will come. And when it does, you have to be ready, because that's all success is. And you have to understand that. It's when opportunity meets luck. But you got to be prepared. Because when that opportunity comes and you are not ready, it's gone. Just like that. And that's it.